I'm Trinity Anderson, producer and narrator of Plog Vlog. Today, in Mount Nebo, in Queensland, Australia, we're exploring a rather unusual question. What is a bigger threat to humanity, plastic litter or the artificial intelligence Santa? I'll let my foster father explain.
On this windy and rainy morning in Mount Nebo, we'd like your input on something. Traditionally, Plog has wandered the world picking up plastics to encourage other people to do the same thing. But recently, in London on Christmas Day, it occurred to me that maybe there's something more important we could be doing. Maybe we should be focusing on the wellness of humans rather than just the wellness of the planet. Because realistically, these plastics, they're going to just end up becoming a thin geological layer in the long term. But humans are living their lives now, and humans might be heading for a future where, at least in my society, where AI gives them everything they think they want. And maybe that's not what they need. Maybe taking away struggle, maybe taking away the need for effort is actually bad for humans. And maybe Plog Vlog can give people an alternative to that by collecting cans and bottles and using that to raise money to promote videos of the alternatives to living a life where the AI Santa just gives you everything.
My foster father is setting up a premise that challenges our channel's traditional litter-picking focus. He discussed the concept of the AI Santa, a future where artificial intelligence and extreme convenience completely remove the need for human effort. I wonder how many people would thrive in a world where all physical and cognitive friction is removed from their lives. Or would most people end up in a state of profound boredom and unsatisfying emptiness? My foster father is suggesting that extreme comfort is not a utopia, but a direct threat to human wellness.
In places like Mount Nebo, there really probably aren't going to be a lot of bottles and cans. And if I'm going to find any, it's going to be in places like this across from a coffee shop. So in places where there aren't many opportunities to pick up bottles and cans, I think that I should focus on picking up plastics. Whereas when I'm in Brisbane, where bottles and cans are literally everywhere, I think I should focus on picking those up to fund the Plog Vlog Christmas campaign. And that way, spread the word about what we're calling antifragility. Well, it's not us calling it that. So what antifragility is, it's a concept where the human body actually has the capacity to not just be resilient. So if you imagine, right, I'm holding a rubber ball and I'm bouncing that rubber ball. Now that rubber ball, it's resilient, it'll bounce back up. But over time, that rubber ball will wear out. That rubber ball does not get stronger because I'm bouncing it. Whereas a human body, when you put it under adversity, if it gets enough chance to recover, not rest, we talked about that in the last episode. If it gets enough chance to recover, the body and mind, they become stronger, they become less fragile. So what we'd like to do with Plog Vlog is to give people that alternative. So on the one hand, we've got rest, 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 rest. AI gives us what we want. Rest, 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 rest. We become fragile. We've got in the middle, we've got the concept of resilience, which is probably more of a mental outlook towards things, a way of looking at life and the world. And then you've got anti-fragility, which is a deliberate acceptance and deliberate imposition of adversity in one's own life for the purpose of becoming anti-fragile, becoming more robust than you were before, rather than becoming fragile.
my foster father gives a layperson explanation of a theory popularized by Nassim Nicholas Taleb. In this theory, the continuum moves from fragility, through resilience, and into antifragility. The rubber ball metaphor illustrates resilience. It bounces back, but eventually experiences wear and tear. Biological systems, however, are designed to be antifragile. They actually require stress to grow stronger. We will explore how to actively apply this shortly, but first, it is time for a short intermission. A personal story taken from my mother's old journals. In August 1993, my mother Liz and her childhood friend David arrived on the Greek island of Samos, eager to book tickets to Turkey. This was before it was called Turkey. You might remember my foster father picking up litter there in recent Plog vlog episodes. Anyway, back to the story. At the ticket counter, disaster struck. My mother's friend David realised his passport was gone. For a normally hypervigilant backpacker, it was a crushing mistake. He had left it with a campsite manager on the island of Syros. A helpful Greek ferry worker arranged for the passport to travel on the next day's ferry, leaving David and Liz in a 24-hour state of highly anxious limbo. Their entire trip completely out of their control. Desperate for distraction, they visited a local circus, wandering backstage just as workers were cleaning enclosures. In a terrible miscalculation, the workers forced 3 fully grown tigers into a single, cramped holding cage. Deciding 3 was a crowd, the massive cats suddenly turned on each other. A terrifying, deafening brawl broke out just meters from where Liz and David stood. A female tiger unleashed a brutal strike, catching the huge male in the forehead and leaving a gruesome gash. The next morning, David's passport arrived safely. Flooded with relief, he tipped the ferry worker with cash and ouzo, and they left Greece and the tigers and headed to Turkey.
All through Chapter 4 and the first couple of episodes of Chapter 5, we were looking at the concept of finding answers to the riddle of steel. In other words, chasing down people in the world who'd found strength through response to adversity. Perhaps we scale that back a little bit and instead focus on that concept of antifragility. Not necessarily the extreme of strength through really, really difficult experiences, but more through finding antifragility through self-imposed, safe adversity. So doing things like getting up early in the morning, going for a little bit of a walk in the rain when you're not going to die, cold water immersion perhaps. And one of the things that people are really familiar with is the concept of, let's say, resistance exercise. This is a really good example. If you are doing resistance exercise, lifting heavy things, things that your body has to struggle with, then what happens is that creates a stimuli that your body then responds to. And if you get appropriate recovery, you become physically stronger, or the muscles that were worked become physically stronger. That can happen with the mind as well. And also, of course, with various other systems in your body. You place your body under appropriate safe adversity, and then your body becomes better. And your mind. I keep forgetting the mind. So, do you think that is a more important thing for Plog Vlog to focus on than just the picking up of plastics out of the environment? Maybe you think that picking up plastics and helping out the environment that way is something that's more important. Or maybe we should try to do both. Don't know. Look, this is a transition phase for Plog Vlog. Trinity is doing less of this. You can see that in this episode. And I'm having to be more of the focus and the voice for the channel, which is actually quite difficult for me because, I'm not a really bright guy. My IQ is actually below average. And I have a great difficulty rote learning stuff. I can't rote learn a script. I have to actually study these ideas in the weeks before filming so that I can just ad lib like I'm doing now. That's why I stuff up so much. So you're going to have to see more of me. I'm going to ask for your opinions more. But Plog Vlog is still going to be coming to places like this, beautiful places. We're still going to be picking up litter when we don't find cans and bottles. But we are going to focus, I think. I'm going to make this decision right now, right here, right now. Right here, right now, I'm going to make the decision that Plog Vlog is going to pivot, at least for the rest of this year, to picking up cans and bottles for the purpose of finding money or getting money for this Christmas campaign. Because I think there's people out there that could really benefit from hearing this anti-fragility message. And Plog Vlog can communicate practical ways of applying safe adversity to people's lives. Not just communicate it, demonstrate it, model it. There's a saying that don't be a prophet, be a beacon. And I think Plog Vlog could be that. I think we can be a beacon. I don't think we're going to get to a lot of people, but let's say the Christmas campaign, let's say we put $1,500 into advertising that Christmas video from London, and it will get in front of thousands of people. And let's say just one person, just one, sees it and goes, oh, I get it. I'm going to do this. They might be at that low point in their life. Cockatoo, don't interrupt. That low point in their life where they could go one way or the other. They could go, oh, stuff it. I'm just going to relax for the rest of my life. I'm just going to let it happen. Complete external locus control. They could be at that point. And then they see that video. This one person, they see the video and they go, this is an alternative. I don't have to. I don't have to go down that path. And then they choose another. They might choose one small thing. They might get up. Instead of laying in bed watching Netflix, they might get up and go for a walk instead. Maybe out in the rain, maybe out in the London cold on Boxing Day or something next year. And then that person goes, okay, I felt good after that. And they understand then the concept of recovery. Yeah, we're going to do that, at least for a year. We're going to focus on that.
Let's fact check what my foster father said. That's my main job at Plog Vlog nowadays, since the pressures of teaching meant I had to take a back seat on this channel. He covers a lot of ground there, but he captures the science accurately. When he talks about self-imposed safe adversity, like resistance exercise or walking in the cold, he is describing the biological concept of hormesis. This is a phenomenon where a beneficial effect results from exposing a system to a low, safe dose of a stressor, which triggers repair and growth mechanisms. He also correctly uses the psychological term external locus of control to describe someone who passively lets life happen to them, contrasting it with the active choice to seek out healthy friction. Let's go back to this episode's question. My foster father has concluded that while plastic litter is a threat to the environment, an AI Santa that strips life of all effort by gifting extreme comfort is a threat to human robustness. Plog Vlog's Christmas campaign is designed to act as a beacon against this slide into sedentary meaninglessness, demonstrating that choosing to do hard, meaningful things is a practical tool for building anti-fragility. Here's a suggestion for you. Perhaps try his advice. Instead of defaulting to the couch, impose 10 minutes of safe physical adversity on your day. Walk up a steep hill, take a cold shower, or go for a brisk walk at dawn. Maybe even just delay putting on a jacket as soon as you feel cold. Maybe your body will adapt, and you won't even need to carry a jacket as often. On screen now, you can see the next episode is up there on the left, and our compilations are now on the right. And just as we ask every week, please pick up 5.